In this video, Jody DeVere is going to explain why more females consider automotive technology, collision repair, and related trades as a career. Hey, this is Donnie Smith, and today I have Jody DeVere with me. I've known her for quite some years. She is the CEO of AskPatty.com, and what they do is they certify shops to become female friendly. And I learned about this years ago. You was telling me about it, and at the time, now again, this was years ago, but I think uh, car purchases, 50% of the purchases were women, but they influenced 70%. So meaning, that maybe they wasn't the ones buying them, but they was telling their husbands which one to buy. So that's a huge market if shops aren't marketing to that to the females. So is that still a pretty in that area, or has that changed?
Actually, the numbers have increased over the
Increase.
years. Now, 85% of women influence car purchases, and that includes their children uh, and family members, other family members. Women have become very vocal, especially on social media, about their shopping experiences at all retail locations, not just car shopping, and
Right.
of course at repair shops for sure. So yeah,
Yeah,
in
so if
fact,
shops ain't marketing to them, they're missing out on a huge market. And I'm sure the training has stuff to do with curb appeal, waiting rooms, marketing for women, different things like that.
yeah, and there's a big focus on actual communication skills, verbal and nonverbal communication skills. So, I think for us that we're really aiming to deliver exceptional service, customer service skills to the shops. And if you can keep the women happy, you can keep the men happy, because we don't want to disregard the guys that are coming in either. All of these skills are really geared to make our shops the leaders in their community in terms of the experience that consumers are having.
Right. So I've also noticed with some other organizations, and what really caught my attention is I saw a video that you was talking on. It's not part of the AskPatty.com, but you're actually a big advocate for females getting into the industry. And we all know collision repair or automotive or any of those related industries, they're really hurting these days for new tech. So that really caught my attention. I was going to see if you wanted to talk a little bit over that.
Yeah, well, I'm involved in a lot of different groups, actually. All of these are groups for women, but about 6 years ago, I actually started another business with my partner, Christy Roman. We started the womeninautomotive.com, the Women in Automotive LLC. You can go to it at womeninautomotive.com. It is a series of conferences for men and women to learn more about the other side of the coin, which is hiring, retaining, attracting, and developing more women into our business at this point in time. And this is in all jobs across the board, working at automakers and suppliers. Only 26.2% are women. And of that 26.2%, a very small percent are manager level or above. So there's a big disparity and some of it is really not the automotive industry's fault at all. I think that parents have a lot to do with that, how they come in contact with the automotive industry and start encouraging the young people to actually enter the field. I mean, if you ask women, most of us came to automotive by accident or circumstance, not by decision. I came into the auto industry 20 years ago after quite a long career in high tech, through a consulting project I was working on, and I got interested, and the rest is history. But I think that more and more companies are trying to hire more women, but they're just not, either they don't apply for the jobs, or the turnover rate is very high. So the Women in Automotive Conference is sort of the other side of the coin. Well, how does our industry attract more women and then develop and careers and career paths for them in the industry, including into senior level leadership or as business owners. I mean, I could talk a lot about this because I have relationships with a lot of organic groups that have developed over the years by women to support, for instance, female technicians coming into the field, female shop owners. Another group I'm affiliated with is the General Motors Women's Retail Network, which is a network of all the women-owned dealerships. And I could go down a very, very long list here, including one I like to mention, are Women in Collision, the WIN organization, of which I support all of those, and various other subsets of those organizations. And so after 6 years of listening to thought leaders and case studies of companies that are doing more and more to encourage women, I really have become a plethora of information about tips for everything from shops to suppliers to automakers and other businesses in automotive on how to develop that within their business. And so I'm very excited about it, really, because there's a lot of opportunity.
There is, and it seems like the females that I've had, or I'll follow some of them on Instagram or here and there. They're really passionate. The ones that do decide to follow that, their dream, they're very passionate about it and be very good at it.
Really, and I think one of the issues that's starting to be solved by these organic groups that are gathering together in the Women in Automotive Conference is that in a lot of cases, women are like mushrooms growing in the dark in their organizations. They may very well be the only woman, or maybe the only woman in management with their role. And having the connections between women who are peers, developing mentor relationships for women who want to accelerate in their careers and they need another woman. Men are mentors too. But I think there's some unique challenges with women working in our industry that other women who have become successful can really support and guide those women. I've been very active mentoring women, even women in motorsports. I mean, they're business owners too, and have to develop a whole marketing plan for their sponsorships and so forth. And so I think it's important work that we are doing. And I say we because we have a board at the Women in Automotive, and many of those women have been related to Ask Patty in some form. In fact, I just launched a consulting network to carry that further and really have developed a lot of tools and resources for leaders in companies who would like to fast track more women into their organizations. So a few ways that companies can develop a better, more success with hiring and retaining women are some simple things. One of the tips I like to give is people are constantly advertising for new people, but where they place the advertisement in the automotive sections, in the classifieds or wherever they're advertising, women may not be looking there.
Right.
So you need to rethink where you're placing your ads and the wording that you're using so that it is more desirable positions, like advertising for customer service people instead of counter people. I see that word. What does that mean, counter people? And using wording that is going to attract women who might be working in jobs that have great skills that would be wonderful for service advisors if you're willing to train them and put them through the ASE service advisor test. I highly recommend that, by the way. And that way she feels more confident and she has credentials.
Right.
That's a good thing to do. But placement and wording. And also, instead of saying, well, you know, we're looking for people who have experience in automotive at Pep Boys or wherever, you might want to try some retail stores in your local market that are employing a lot of women in customer service roles, like at Apple stores. Vehicles are computers now. You know, women, people who work at Apple stores or Best Buy, people who are working at high customer service jobs. One of the recommendations I make is that women who work the makeup counter at your local retail location actually have great personal skills. People who work at Starbucks, my granddaughter who's 21 works there, they put them through customer service school, and the more schooling they complete along those lines, the more money they make and the higher up they become in the Starbucks, in their role at Starbucks. And so these type of individuals and job placement are going to attract a different type of candidate that's maybe more skilled, but it's also going to appeal to women.
That's definitely a big market that, you know, I think is often overlooked as far as coming from the women's perspective. They're just don't consider these type of jobs, you know, they don't consider pursuing that.
Well, typically, and this is something that I teach in my training, women tend to read people very well and body language very well. They're also good listeners. And those are all skills for customer service roles at shops and other automotive retail locations that are quite valuable. I'm not saying, I don't want to say everyone's like that, but they tend to be that way. Also, and this is unfortunate, but women working in automotive usually have to try 3 times harder than the guys to get the same recognition and level. And so usually they're very hardworking. Women tend to be more loyal in employment overall. Studies have shown if they are making enough money and they're getting the right benefit, they're extremely loyal. And so that is a really good hiring pool just based on those traits. Another really great way to hire, and a lot of my clients do this, is to carry a card with you at all times. Now, right now we're not having much contact with the human race, but the general practice is to carry a business card about hiring with your name on it. And when you visit retail locations and that person provides you great customer service, hand them the card and invite them to apply for your jobs. This could be waitresses or at retail locations that you visit, the grocery store, the mall that you go to, and sort of be in the hiring mode all the time. I do want to touch on female technicians because this is a big challenge for them and for shops. I work with a lot of schools that are training new technicians, and more young women don't, and the guys either, do not see a problem going to school for automotive technicians degrees, and both in college and in high school. And however, when they graduate, they oftentimes are turned down for jobs because they are a woman, because they won't fit into the culture at the shop, is usually what they hear. Now, sometimes it's not said that way, but that is the eventuality, and it's quite frustrating. Or they go to work in a shop and find the culture really isn't very welcoming to them. And so there are some things that leaders, business owners need to consider if they're going to hire more women. By the way, women who are turning a wrench do not want to be treated differently. They just want to have the right kind of accommodation and to have a fair playing field, right? Out there. It's not like they're looking for special treatment.
Yeah.
And so leaders need to think about some of the ways that they conduct their business and the culture. That's one of the things that the Ask Patty Certified Female Friendly program provides for our clients. A female friendly culture also invites more women to work for you automatically. But thinking about that process, and also having transparent and good conversations with your other technicians on how they would feel and what is going to be expected of them by adding female technicians who, again, are very loyal, equal to the job. Nowadays, vehicles are so complex computer-wise. The heavy lifting has really been, the burden of heavy lifting and greasy work is really kind of going by the wayside. And so you are going to increase your hiring pool, and there is a technician shortage. You should be really working hard to grab these students coming out of school, doing internships while they're in school, and providing support for them, mentoring, and the opportunity to grow into your business.
Yeah.
I know of one story, and I won't name the companies, but they actually bought the trade school so that they could have all the graduates. That's, I'm sure shop owners would like to do that, but the shop owners in the area were quite discouraged because the pipeline of technicians coming out of that particular trade school became zero for them.
Wow.
And it became more difficult.
Yeah. For everybody else.
But that's what it's like out there. You know, you read the trading between shops, different technicians are moving around, you know, picking up their toolbox and moving around, or you're going to have to get creative and start pipelining through the different trade schools and high schools in your area and providing a little more career path for those in training, and attract them with all of the benefits that they would have. Hopefully this will make them loyal. So here's another suggestion. You know, I hear from shop owners that they're afraid to do all that work and then have the technician leave them. So one creative way to retain that person is to provide a portion of their income to pay off their student loans. They all come with student loans, and it is expensive to go to school. And of course, it can be a small percent, and you can wait until they've gotten to a certain period where you feel they're worthy to continue to retain in your business, maybe 90 days or something like that. But this is a great retention plan. Yeah. By the way, it doesn't have to be a technician. It could be any person coming to work with you. Young people today don't automatically get a great job or career just because they have a 4-year degree. That's a misnomer and a problem in our industry. That is one of the things that's created such a shortage of technicians and other tradespeople. This idea that parents give children for the last 30, 40 years that a 4-year degree is going to make you a success. This is not true. And the trades
it's almost like that was not even became not an option not to get a degree. It's kind of like the way students was being led. But yeah, like you say, that's not true. There's a lot of money being made in trades out there, and that's where the shortages are.
Right. And so providing the means to help pay for those heavily burdened student loan can be a way to retain them and reward them for that loyalty to your business. And that can work very well for you.
Right. Okay. If I'll put some of your links down below the video, but if you wanted wanted more information, where would you want them to go? I know you're involved with a lot of different things, and I'll where would you want to direct someone?
Well, you can visit AskPatty.com and check out some of our article content, our podcasts. You can check out also CertifiedFemaleFriendly.com if you're interested in some training. I would check out the WomenInAutomotive.com. Our upcoming conference is going to happen in the fall this year. Also, another organization that I have been a part of for nearly 20 years is the Women in Auto Care. And that group of women, men and women, are definitely supporting female shop owners and technicians, and men are welcome at that conference as well. So there's some resources for you. I also do write article content for ASA. And you can check me out on Auto Inc. magazine online, and I talk about a lot of these type of strategies. So hopefully this will be helpful information, and reach out to me at any time.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely put some of those links down there, and I encourage you to go check out some of these links, learn more. And if you are wanting to become female certified, if you're a shop, I highly encourage it. And, consider hiring some women in the industry. So anyway, do you have anything else?
I just want to thank you, Donnie, for having me. It's a privilege and an honor to be part of your podcast shows, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
All right. Well, Jody, I thank you, and hopefully we can get out of our houses soon.
Yeah. Amen.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
If you like this video, be sure and give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down below. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.